This is Kardec Radio for Teens.
And now it's time for real life-changing dilemmas from a Spiritist perspective. The Diary of Alex with your host, Mark Smith.
Hello everyone and welcome to the first Diary of Alex. You've been listening to Carol Correa talk a lot about the beautiful lessons that we learned from the diary of Belinda. And Alex is going to become involved in Belinda's life in very interesting ways. And in this particular segment of that I'm about to begin with you, we're going to start in 1937. That's right, 1937. And that's the first diary entry that we see of Alex. And Alex has decided to write in his diary because he's overwhelmed. He's overwhelmed because he isn't able to deal with the terrible feelings that he has in his heart. You see, his mother has just remarried to an emotionally abusive man. And he feels overwhelmed by isolation when he's at home. But he promised to his father, when his father was still alive, to stay strong and support his mother. So we're dealing here with the tension. And what he's decided to do is write about that in his diary. So I'm going to briefly give you a little synopsis here of his diary entry. I can't believe it. My heart is about to explode. I'm so desperate and I'm so sad. So I'm writing to you, diary, to let you know that I can't think of any other way to express my feelings than to write them down. Because I'm hoping that no one can really alleviate the way I feel. But maybe in writing these words, I may feel better about what's happening to me. Oh, if it hadn't been for the message of my father to keep staying strong, I don't know what I would do in this situation. My mother's new husband is just awful. And I see him putting down my mother all the time, and it's so hard to be at home, to watch this man take over our house, take over our life, destroy the beautiful family that I had. And he does it piece by piece, and he's so skillful at abusing emotionally. I don't know how to handle it. I need to write this down just to say I need some kind of release. Some kind of release. And you know where I'm finding that release? I'm finding it in my dreams. Diary, I keep having this dream over and over again of this beautiful woman who comes to me in the middle of the night. And she always says something like this: Alex, you can find strength in your heart. Remember, I'm always by your side. I'm always coming to you. I'm always here. Remember that it's your thoughts that matter. The way you think is more important than anything else. So keep remembering that you're here to serve and love. And I'll keep coming back to remind you. And I have some dream like this every night. And I feel, thank you. I just want to say thank you to the guardian angel who put this beautiful dream in my mind. Without it, I don't know how I would go on. I'll write back soon when I feel a little encouragement to do so. I'm just so glad that I have these dreams to keep going on. Well, you can see here in this diary segment how Alex is really suffering. I mean, the situation of his family life is more than anybody could really take. Imagine a person coming into your household who you notice is just not only a little bit of a stranger, but also begins emotionally abusing your own mother. And this situation is hard for anyone to take. And of course, poor Alex has to live in this household and experience this every day. But you know, the beautiful message, and it's in the Spirit's Book, number 402, is that we actually have a time during our day when we sleep where if we do this right, if we have, and I know Carol talked about this a while back, intelligent sleep, if we can create these moments where we actually can pray to our guardian angels before we go to sleep, we might actually have what the spirits in the Spirit's Book called an active dream life, where we might take the company of more advanced spirits and begin to converse with them. And it's this more advanced spirit, this beautiful woman, how she presents herself to Alex during his dreams, is giving him this strength that he otherwise wouldn't have. And think of it, a lot of people will tell you that aren't spiritists, they'll say, oh, sleep, that's just, something we do. And it doesn't really, it doesn't mean anything. But from a spiritist perspective, it means it's the time that we're liberated from our body and our spirit can be free. And so I'm going to read you a brief passage from the Spirit's Book, number 402. Through sleep, incarnate spirits are always in touch with the spiritual plane. That is why evolved spirits don't hesitate to incarnate among you. Whenever they come to your planet, God allows them as a way of offsetting their close contact with earthly energies to replenish themselves in the sources of higher good. Sleep is a door God opens for them. Through it, they enter the spirit world and commune with their friends. Thus, they patiently wait for the final liberation that will return them to their proper places. Sleep is also a time of leisure when they can relax before returning to their tasks. In short, sleep has more influence on your life than you realize. And isn't it interesting to think about the fact that this beautiful woman might actually be a friend of Alex in the spirit world? This is something we're going to get back to a little bit in a future diary. And remember that in the spirit world, we have an opportunity to commune with more advanced spirits. So even if in our own home life may not be that type of life, in our sleep, we have the opportunity to experience God's kindness. Even when we're the most lonely in our life, we can get support and courage. Even when we don't find love in our life, in our own home life, we can find love in the spirit world. So God makes himself known to us, and he makes his presence known to us, even when we're the most lonely. And I want to make this one important point that, just to remind you, I'm recording this on September 10th, which happens to be an important day. It's the International Suicide Prevention Day. So if you can pray tonight, and let's be aware of the fact that I heard a statistic recently, it was on Kardec Radio this morning, that I think it's every 30 seconds or so, 40 seconds, someone commits suicide in the world. And so this is something to remind ourselves that imagine if these people knew the beautiful gift that lies within their own hearts. All they have to do is pray before they go to sleep and have the opportunity to commune with higher spirits. It's something that is a gift that we as spiritists can give people who are in desperation. So I look forward to talking with you next week once again for another segment from the Diary of Alex. And stay tuned. I'm going to be presenting you now with a beautiful message from Living Spring, which I hope also encourages us to think about the fact that every single day we have the opportunity, and we are actually growing spiritually. There's thousands and thousands of ways every day that we can grow spiritually so that we can get a path out of despair. So here's the message number 78, Divine Grafting, from Living Spring, from Francisco Xavier, from the Spirit Emmanuel. Number 78, Divine Grafting. Paul says, "And if they do not persist in unbelief, they will be grafted in, for God is able to graft them in again." Romans 11. Every human being is actually a spiritual plant, an object of great care on the part of the divine sower. Each person, like the plant, has different phases of existence: sowing, germination, fertilization, growth, usefulness, blooming, fructification, harvest. Shortly before the fruit appears, the fruit grower is more carefully devoted to the tree. Abundance and usefulness are crucial. Likewise, the Lord adopts the same rules for us in the spiritual struggle. As we acquire knowledge, reason, and experience, the heavenly fruit grower confers on us invaluable resources of spiritual grafting with a view to our purification for life eternal. On each new day of your human experience, you receive invaluable resources so that the results of your current incarnation may enrich you with divine light by means of the happiness you transmit to others. On each new day of your human experience, you receive invaluable resources so that the results of your current incarnation may enrich you with divine light by means of the happiness you transmit to others. However, you are a conscious tree and are free to accept or not accept renewing elements, and you're free to acknowledge their blessing or reject it. Carefully reflect on how many times the sublime sower has called you to grow spiritually. Heaven's grafting in searches for us in 1,000 ways. Today it may be found in an edifying conversation. Tomorrow it may be found in an instructive book. The day after that it may be found in an apparently insignificant gift that comes your way. So if you intend to grow spiritually, take advantage of heaven's contributions, illuminating and sanctifying your inner temple. But if disbelief is currently isolating your mind, winding your energies around the reel of selfishness, the grafting in of sublimation will search for you in vain, since in the area of the Spirit, you still do not produce the sap that favors the abundant life.
This has been Kardec Radio for Teens. Thank you all for listening.